When you're faced with a cancer diagnosis, finding a treatment, it can be scary and overwhelming, especially because there are so many choices. An important factor is finding a treatment without many side effects and one that's right for you. Dr. John Kressel of Phoenix Cyberknife Center is here with how they can help, and it's always good to see you.
Good to see you.
Because every day, somebody, I don't think anybody can say that they don't know somebody who's been touched with cancer. Explain to those watching who've never heard of Cyberknife before, what is it that you do differently?
So the Cyberknife Center is a radiosurgery center of excellence. So this is a form of radiation therapy that is kind of state-of-the-art. Its characteristics are it's much more precise, it's much more accurate. Because it's more precise and more accurate, we can spare more healthy tissue, as well as delivering more dose to the cancer, to the tumor site. So in many instances now, instead of 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks of treatment, the treatment can be delivered in just 3 or 5 treatments, sometimes 1, because we can deliver all of that dose more safely and deliver it in just 1 to 3 fractions.
I think that's really difficult for somebody to wrap their head around who are used to hearing about the traditional type of radiation. So who is a good candidate for this type of treatment?
So radiosurgery has been something that's been around since the 1960s. It's been developed and evolved, and now it's to the point where radiosurgery, which was initially just for brain tumors, is now effective and used in a number of different sites: prostate and lung and liver and pancreas and head and neck and spine.
What we're just seeing now, what type of treatment, where was her cancer? I mean, that was kind of a weird apparatus we were looking at over her face.
Sure, I didn't actually see that, but
that right there.
So she's got a immobilization face mask on, so that's probably either a head and neck or a brain treatment, and it's just helps to keep the patient still during therapy as it's being delivered.
We've had, you brought along a patient today who's had tremendous success. We often hear some of your patients say, I look forward to going in to get a treatment. You don't really feel anything, do you?
No, that's one of the big benefits of having less side effects, and the recovery time is very short. In fact, many patients who receive their Cyberknife treatment that day, many of them go golfing later that day. Many of them are still working. They come at their noon hour, get treated, go back to work.
That's amazing.
In many instances, there's very little recovery time that's needed.
And that is really amazing. And a lot of people think, okay, it almost sounds like an alternative treatment, but it's really not. This is covered by our insurance, isn't it?
It's a mainstay of treatment, and actually the first treatment choice for a number of different disease processes or cancers. So what we're trying to do is make sure that patients look at this if they don't know about it, or if their physicians aren't trained with it, they don't really understand it, may not offer it to their patients. Is you should check out all of your treatment options before making a final decision.
Absolutely. Do your due diligence. Are there certain types of cancers that you treat or don't treat?
Nope. Cyberknife's been used on all forms of cancer, so we treat everything.
All right. Well, you brought along another success story with you today, and we're going to hear from him in just a few moments. But if you have any questions for Phoenix Cyberknife and Radiation and Oncology Center, you can email them at info@pcroc.com. Let me tell you where they're located: 4611 East Shea Boulevard in Phoenix. Here's the number to call for questions, consultations, any other information: 602-441-3845. You can also learn more at phoenixcyberknifecenter.com.